Buenas. This is the You Live Where show. My name is Diego, and I've been an expat for 10 years now, and it's been the best 10 years of my life. In this time that I've been here, I've come across people who have been interested in living a like lifestyle or just generally want to know what's going on. How do I do what I do? Or, how we do what we do. So, in my experience, the only way that I can provide value to you at home is by having genuine conversations with expats, people who own homes overseas, or people who've been on the road for a really long time. So this week we're talking to a woman named Harmony who makes Thailand her home now, and this is a good one. There's a lot of information here, so enjoy.
Hey, Harmony, thank you so much for taking the time out and coming on our show, man. I really appreciate you.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is really cool. I'm excited to talk to you. So Thailand, huh? That's a distance.
It is. It's over 9,000 miles away from America, so it's
And
a change.
that's where you started, America?
Yes, that's where I'm from, Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee. Wow, that's awesome. Good music scene. From what I haven't been, but from what I hear, you guys got a dope music scene.
Oh, yeah, it's Music City. A lot of people come there to jump off their careers, kind of like they go to California for acting and stuff. So, yeah.
That's awesome. That's cool though. That's a lot of fresh music. So let's go back a little bit. When did you get the travel bug? When did you start getting out there?
Well, I've always been kind of spontaneous and risky, all my life really, and I've always wanted to move and live abroad, but I was raised by my grandparents and I didn't want to leave them because I had an opportunity to like teach in China like some years ago and they were going to pay for everything and I declined the offer because I was just scared of, things that you hear about other countries. And then, of course, I didn't want to leave my grandparents. And so I didn't take the chance. But of course, as I got older, my grandparents, of course, are no longer here with me. So it made it a little easier to make the decision to move. So I'll say last year, around about May or June, I got a real urgency to get out of America. I kind of knew some of the things that were coming prior to. Different story for a different day. But it was just on me to, leave the country. And so I started to ask a friend of mine that travels a lot, like, what do I do? Because I didn't know where to start, or as most people, where to start to move out of the country. I had about five different countries I wanted to move to. It was like Costa Rica, Ghana, Colombia, Portugal, Thailand. Like I had like a few places. And I even thought about Qatar or whatnot. But Thailand was number one for some reason. I looked more into it, like in researching it, and it was like one of the safest places in the world to live for not only like women travelers, but like Black people or whatever, as we know the history around that kind of stuff. So it just really fit. And so she told me, she said, get into the expat rooms of the places that you want to move to. So I joined an expat room on Facebook called All Over the World. And I made a post and I posted the places that I was trying to go, and people flooded in on the comment section
That's awesome.
with all types of information, but nobody was saying anything about Thailand. And so I was like, oh no. So it was one guy who responded and he was like, hey, in Pattaya, Thailand. And at the time, I didn't really know which part of Thailand I wanted to move to. I knew I didn't want to move to Bangkok which is where I currently am, just exploring. But it gives more of like New York on steroids. Like it gives
Okay,
more of this American feel that I don't really like because that's not what I came for.
right.
Um, but he responded, and I was like, yes, finally, someone from Thailand. So, and he's actually not from Thailand, he's from New York. But, we started to talk and stuff, and he was giving me lots of cool information about Pattaya, about Thailand. He had been there since May. I'm having this conversation as of the end of June because
Okay.
he just knew so much. He did so much research. And so he was really helping me. So we talked on the FaceTime, and he was really cool or whatnot. And then my plan was to visit in November and then move January 2025. But talking to this man, we got kind of close or whatnot, and a 3 hour conversation turned into what if I told you you're my person? And so I was like, okay, what if I said the same? So everything literally aligned. There was no gaps. Everything was consistent. At the time, I was waiting on a settlement from a car wreck I had the previous year. I kind of let it go because it was taking forever. One day at the beginning of July of last year, I literally, before I took a nap and we had talked, I said it would be so cool if that settlement came through and I was able to visit you before my job started because I was a teacher at the time. I used to teach in America. And
Okay.
so I took a nap, and I can't make this up. When I woke up, I had a text message from my lawyer, and he said, "Guess what? Call me when you get up." So I called him, and he was like, "I got the money." I said, "Yeah, right. Like, it's like you're kidding." He was like, "No, I can get it to you by Thursday." So I got my money Thursday. I brought my ticket Friday, and I was on my way to Thailand that Sunday. Um, and
That is
so
so cool. All of this is awesome.
yeah. So like we ended up meeting or whatnot. It worked out, for me to visit. I stayed for a week. Sometimes people meet online, they meet in person, and it's like, but no, it was just as beautiful as when we met over the phone. And so during that week, and he's an older guy, so I was like, I'm not a 21-year-old girl. I was like, so is this something serious? Or are we just having fun? So he was like, no, I really want to be with you. And I'm just like, okay. So after I left Thailand, like even when we left each other, we were crying and stuff. And I was just like, this is crazy. So I got back to America. I was like, well, no need to visit in November because I've already, came to Thailand. And I knew when I got here, this was a place I needed to be. Outside of meeting him, the feel, like everything, and my spirituality is a little different. And I just got a lot of signs that, this is where you need to be. So I was like, okay, cool. So once I got back, we had another conversation, and he was like, you know what? I can't wait for you to come in January. He was like, or November. He was like, I want you to come now. I'm moving you now. So in August, he brought my one-way ticket. And as of September, I quit my job, had a farewell party, packed up everything, got rid of my car, gave my townhome back to the landlord, and I moved to Thailand. So that is my story is not normal. As I
Yo,
had a whole
that's
plan.
awesome.
Yeah, I had a whole plan. Like I had a remote job lined up. I had, my savings, everything ready for me to be a solo traveler. But that all changed when I met him because he didn't want me to work. He wanted to travel Thailand. It was so cool. So that's how it all started for me to get here to Thailand.
That's awesome. That's a great story. That's a great story. So, dude, how did your people take it? Like when you were back, all right, so we're back a little bit, right? You've made the decision because you were thinking about it. I'm gonna go here, there, whatever. And you did some dope
Hmm.
research. And thank you for that, by the way, giving us some insight into how you went through that process. That was really cool. Um, so
Yeah.
let's go back. You decide, all right, fuck it. I'm moving to Thailand. I know your grandparents passed away. But how do your friends, how does everybody, what do you mean you're moving to Thailand? How did everybody take that?
Yeah, so of course, some of my friends that I was the closest to thought I was joking. Like they were like, because the trip part about it is, a few, like maybe a couple of months before that, I had played a really big joke on my homegirl and her mom, and I was like, "Guess what, you guys?" Because I had owned my own daycare, and so I used to keep their daughter, and I was like, "Guess what, you guys?" Um, I'm moving to New York. Like, that's it. I just,
What,
I
like
was
an
just
April
playing
Fool's
around.
Day?
Yeah, just playing around. And they were like devastated. And I was like, okay, okay, I'm just kidding. Like, I'm not moving. And then when I came to tell, so it was like, I'm crying wolf. Cause then I was like, you guys are moving to Thailand. And they were like, no, you're not. Shut up. Like, you already played us. I said, no, seriously, I'm moving to Thailand. And I showed them my ticket. And that's when they were like, oh my God, like, what is happening? Um, and so, like, a lot of my friends, they understood because they know that I'm a really spontaneous person and
Okay.
I love adventure. But they were definitely like sad about it. My cousin, that's like my sister cousin, she was devastated. My aunt, she cried. Like, it was a whole thing. But everybody still that I shared it with, because a lot of people I did not share it with until I had my farewell party. And then that's when like other people found out, other family, because the only family I shared it with was my biological mom, my sister, and my aunt. So they were the only ones that actually knew. As far as my uncle and his wife and everybody and my other cousins, like no one knew until I had a farewell party. And so I don't know how they honestly felt about it. They didn't come to my party. So maybe they felt some type of way, I don't know, but everybody had their own feelings about it. But either way it went, I knew what I wanted to do, so it didn't stop me. I just kind of was like, well, it is what it is, but I have to live for me, because I started to become stagnant in America. That was another reason why I wanted to move. I was just tired of the day to day. Like, I wanted something different. Like, my soul was yearning for something new. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
Thank you. You articulated that very, I mean, how many of us, right? There's so many people that get that. They get that I want to go type thing. Good deal.
Mhm.
Okay, so you've told me you sold your car, you gave up your condo, you got rid of all your shit and just bounced, right? So you land in
Yeah.
you land in Thailand. I know that love took you there, we'll say, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was it
pretty
was
much.
all right, that's dope. So you have like a guiding principle, right? But there still
Uh-huh.
had to be some mental prep for you. You still had to be like, right? Like you thought, how did you had to prep for this? You're going all the way across the world, different language. What's going
Yeah,
through your besides the going to my man, like what'd you have going
yeah.
through your head
So
for that? That's a big
it
step.
was
How'd you
like
prepare for that?
it was a very big step, and I the only doubts that I really had were me actually living here and not liking it because of what I was used to. Of course, in America, a lot of things are, whatever you make it or whatnot. And that was just kind of what I was worried about. I was like, I've looked at like prison shows, not to say I was going to go to prison, but like America, they don't have nothing else. They got pretty nice prisons compared to everybody else. Thailand has one of the worst. So that was something that crossed my mind. I was just like, what if I'm too loud? Or what if, sometimes I cuss? Like, can you not cuss? Like, what if I go to prison for cussing? Like, that kind of silly shit is what I
Right.
was is what would cross my mind. But mentally, I knew that I could not think like an American going into another country. You definitely have to have a
Back.
different mindset to travel and live abroad. And so those were the kind of things that crossed my mind as far as like preparing. And I knew there was a language barrier, but I also knew that it was 2024 and they have all kind of apps and things that you can use to, get that across. And so I was
Yes.
like, okay, I'm cool there. Then I was like, well, what about the money? Am I going to learn how to spend the money? Like, because it's weird, like the translation between the money,
Right, right.
So I thought about that kind of thing. And then I was like, what about all my stuff? Because I'm a fashionista. So I had all kind of wigs and jewelry and clothes and shoes. And I'm just like, I have to take all of this. And I'm like, what am I gonna do without it? And in Thailand, I'm considered a plus size woman. So in Thailand, that's really not a thing. Um, and so a thing that I thought about was like, well, how am I going to shop for clothes? It was all of the stuff that we probably shouldn't really worry about that I was worried about.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
yeah, so it was, and believe it or not, when before, I'm glad I was able to visit. I do recommend people to at least visit a country that they want to live in so that they can see that you really don't need all of that materialistic stuff. And you
Okay.
can always replace it, you know? And believe it or not, in other countries, it's probably cheaper. I know in Thailand it is. A lot of things are more affordable here. Um, and so that was kind of my mindset. I didn't really go into like the whole thing of not having friends and family here, because I'm an open book. So I'll just share. When I was in America, it was like my friends and family were there, but they weren't there.
Okay.
Like, if that makes any sense. So it was like me moving to another country. I'm not really missing out. And I love meeting new people. I love making new connections. I love to network and I love to, learn about other things. And so that was actually one of the more exciting things for me. They say it's called Alley of Despair. After about 3 months of being somewhere, that's when things start to kick in that it's not your norm and you start to get homesick and, different things. But I have yet to experience that. So I really do think I'm kind of different. But, those were the kind of things that were on my mind,
Uh,
in moving.
uh, that's awesome. You gave some terminology there. Alley of Despair. I'm sorry. I've never heard that before, but it's right fucking spot on. This is like a thing, huh?
Yeah, it is. I don't know if it was Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, something I was looking at online.
Right.
And it was a guy talking about how that's what starts after about 3 months of living abroad. Like the language barrier starts to get to you. Like you can't communicate, can't just walk into somewhere and be like, hey, where's such and such or whatever, because it's like, what are you saying or what are you talking about? Which
Sure.
I've had that happen because I have somewhat of a country dialect. And I talk fast and I like to explain things. And I've had Thai people tell me, hey, 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 like slow down, So I've actually had to learn that kind of stuff.
All right.
Um, but he says that that kicks in. And then, of course, missing family and friends. And then what you are used to as far as like leisure and all of that just starts to weigh down on you. So, like, it's like a major homesickness that comes over you. And at that point, you have to decide if this is really for you or not. And that's why it's called the Alley of Despair. But I
I
haven't,
love
I
that.
haven't, yeah, I haven't experienced that. Like,
That's awesome.
America, I'm really America's just not, I just feel like it's not for me anymore. But unless I had like some big contract for singing or acting or something, then maybe we could talk about it. But other than that, like just living there on a day to day, I just feel like I've really outgrown it. So
Okay.
I haven't hit the alley of despair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's awesome. Good for you. And thank you so much for sharing that with me because that's something new I just learned right there. That's really dope. Something great for our audience. All right. So you haven't hit that alley of despair. You're sailing. It's awesome, right? But what has been different in
You're
you
right.
what has been different in you living there than what you thought it was gonna be? All right, how about this? What was the biggest culture shock? Like you land, you get off the plane, and you're like, holy shit, this is crazy. You know what I mean? What was that moment? Or wow, this is different.
Yeah. Okay. So what's completely different about Thailand? First of all, the weather. Okay. They
Yeah.
have three the Thai lady told me, she says it's hot, it's very hot, and it's very hot. That's how she describes it. So the heat about took me out. So I will say that was really a shock because for a second I was like, okay, am I gonna be able to live here? Because it's just, but something else was that this is a really spiritual land. And so everything is, and they believe in good people, like being a good person and all of that kind of stuff. And everything really relates to it. They have like altars and stuff, which I had an altar at home. So I thought that was so cool. They have
Okay.
altars everywhere. They have like angel numbers, repeating numbers, like they incorporated in things in their business. Um, just to see how That is. And then how they also work together on everything. Like they feel like nobody needs to miss the pie. So a good example would be when I went shopping. I went to a store that didn't have a shoe or a shoe size or something that I wanted. And so instead of just being like, sorry, we don't have it, he was like, wait. And so he left, he went down a couple of stores, he talked to that person, came back. He had the shoe, he had the size. I don't know if they work out a deal with each other or what's going on, but I've never seen that happen. I've walked into plenty of stores back in America in the States, and it's just, oh, well, we don't have it. They're really, the hospitality here is off the charts. Like, they really believe in helping you. When you go into like restaurants, when you go into the hospitals, when like they walk you to your next doctor and show you where things are, and it's not just something they do because you're a tourist or whatever. Like this is how these people operate. So like the hospitality, the spirituality, the heat, all of that was culture shocking to me. Because although it's pretty warm in the South, this is a different type of sun out here. So, so that was really culture
Yeah.
shocking. And then the food, like, how the street food and stuff, like, even street food in America is, it gives a certain look to it to make you want to eat it. Here, it it looks like street food. Like I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, should I or should I not? But it's still a clean situation. Like they're not giving you anything, dirty or anything like that. But it does make you question, like, should I be eating this or not?
So let's hit it.
Um,
Let's just keep rolling there. Tell me about the
yeah,
food. I mean, you already brought it
one
up, and we got to go there. How you doing with the food? Is the food good? You love it? What's
the The food is amazing in Thailand. They really know how to flick the wrist. They know how to season their food. They have a lot of different foods that the only thing different I really tried was I tasted a little bit of crocodile, which I know they have stuff like that in Florida, but for me that was off the charts because I don't eat that kind of stuff. So I
hey?
tried crocodile, but they also eat dried fish here. The seafood, they say is really good. I haven't had it personally, but a lot of people come here for it. Of course, it's super fresh. The water is like right there. They do eat bugs a lot here. When you go to the markets, like they have markets everywhere,
Mhm.
and like when you go, they have a lot of odd things to eat. Like they have lizard in a bag. They have some squid that you dip into some black stuff and you eat it while it's alive. They have jumping shrimp that you eat. Like you can eat and it's jumping out of the thing while you're eating it.
Wow.
um, yeah,
I, that's great.
they have a lot of things.
I'm a lot like you. I'm impulsive and I do crazy shit. And I've been all over the world, but the food thing is kind of where I like the craziest shit I did. I was in China and I ate a bug. It was like I don't know, it was like this big, looked like a worm. What do you call them? Like a grub? But I heard about this in Thailand.
Yeah.
You're laying some shit on me right now. That's pretty crazy. So you have a favorite dish?
Yeah, they have some stuff. Yes, so I absolutely like I think it's called chicken basil kapow or something. I'm
Okay.
probably saying it wrong, but it's basically like rice and an egg, and then it's like chicken, peppers, and basil or whatever. Oh, that's another culture shock. Thailand spicy is not our spicy. Um, their spicy is actually very, very hot.
Okay.
It's not just mild. It's like if you say spicy, you're gonna get like hot as hell. It's not, even, and I don't think they really understand or really go for like a little bit. Like even if you go a little bit, they go, okay. Cause I've done that
Ooh.
with my smoothies, like just a little bit of sugar, and they
Uh-huh.
still
Yeah, they
like
hit
pack
you.
on the sugar, like, no, you need this much sugar. So so that was like kind of, shocking. It is something here called Thai belly. And it's really something. they have a Bali belly, Thai belly, like wherever you go. So you know that there's different bacterias in the food in different regions of the world. So it's not that the food makes you sick, your body just has to adjust to the newness of it. Not everybody it happens to, and sometimes some people it may not happen for a year or two or whatever. It just depends on your body. But I was here for 4 days and I did get Thai belly. And
Okay.
it's basically a stomach ache on steroids, but they know that this happens. So you can go into the pharmacy, which that's another culture shock because the things that they have in their pharmacy, we have go through 500 specialists for. All you
Yeah.
do is walk into the pharmacy, you let the pharmacist know what's going on, and they have the available antibiotic. I mean, whatever you need, like they have it in there. But of course, if it comes to like narcotics or something, you'll have to go through a doctor.
Mm.
But they have charcoal pills that you can get out of the 7-Eleven. It's a million of those, like every other building, it's a 7-Eleven for real. So you can get them at the 7-Eleven, or you can go like to the pharmacy, but they have like a pill that you take that'll help you to overcome it. If you go in there and you say, I think I got Thai belly, they know exactly what to give you. And it wipes it out instantly, almost instantly. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
that's cool. But the food, when people say, oh, food in other countries make you sick, no, it doesn't. It's just your body just has to adjust. So, yeah. The food is really good, though. And they have American food here, like Western food. They have Black owned restaurants. They got Jamaican. They have Mexican. They have a little bit of everything here. It's not just Thai food, but the Thai food is the more affordable food. But if you come and you eat like a Westerner, you're going to pay like a Westerner. So.
Okay. All right. And we're just because you're throwing them out there. This is awesome. You're giving us a lot of stuff here. Um, the healthcare, have you had to deal with that at all? How's the healthcare situation there?
Yes. So I needed to get so when it comes to healthcare here, it's actually amazing.
Okay.
When it comes to the financial side of you don't really need insurance in Thailand. Like you can literally go in and pay for your services because it's not thousands and thousands of dollars. Um and it doesn't define like the care. You know what I'm saying? Like you still get top tier care even at a lower price.
Okay.
So like I went to it's a chain, Bangkok Hospital, but it's in most cities, but it's just called Bangkok Hospital. It's more of a modern hospital or whatever. And you go in, you register, you let them know what's going on. And instead of having to go to different locations to be seen, everything is literally in this hospital on different floors and different wings. And so I had to go for an x-ray. Should have went for an MRI, but they let you pick what you want. Like if you feel like that's what you need, then that's what they're gonna go with. Unless they see fit to recommend something else. But I'm like, my chest is hurting. I need an x-ray. So they're like, okay, x-ray it is. So I
Okay.
and it's a quick process. Like you're not like I've been in it's Baptist Hospital in Nashville. I've sit in their ER for hours. And it's not like that here. Each time I've went to the doctor for me, for other people, like it's a quick process every time. And you like the lady literally walked me around to the area I needed. They called me back. I had a conversation with the doctor, um, and I explained everything that was going on or whatever. And he was like, okay. He said, well, we'll go ahead and get you an x-ray to see what may be happening. So then they take you back. They give you clothes to change into, like a whole outfit to change into. They give you water, while you're waiting and all of that kind of thing. I had my x-ray, and then after it was, I don't even think it was 15 minutes, and they had my results, and I went back in to talk to the doctor, and he explained everything that may have been going on. He was like, but if I do feel like I need something more extensive, he recommended the MRI. And then he asked me, did I want anything for pain or, any prescriptions? And I was just like, no. I was like, I really don't. I personally don't like prescription medicine unless I absolutely have to take it. So
Okay.
then this was a culture shock because I literally got into like a disagreement with the doctor in America about this. But he was like, that is so good that you do not want to take prescription medicine. He said, especially a lot of it. He was like, and he went in to explain, about how some prescription medicines, like what they do, different things. He said, so he said, I really like that about you. And I said, oh, well, thanks, And he said, well, okay, we wrapped up everything. I went to the exit registration or whatever, and I paid. You would pick your prescription up there too if you had a prescription. So you do everything all at once at the hospital.
Okay.
It doesn't go to a separate place, like it's there. So I went, and for that particular visit, I don't even think I paid $140 for that X-ray and that appointment.
That's
So
awesome.
I also went for women care to get my annual or whatever for the year. And I paid 30, 30, 60, 30. I think that was probably like 80 something I paid to get looked at, to get everything I needed, what would cost a couple thousand in America or with
Right.
insurance, I paid $80 for. So and that was a smooth experience too. Like the women's part of the hospital was super nice. They treat us like queens and princesses. Like everybody gets pampered, wherever you go. Like that's just their thing here. So it was a really good experience. They really do like skip all the hassle. Like Thailand is about healing people, literally. They're not trying to just give you something to fix you for a little while so you'll come back. They don't want you to come back. And so they don't want you to come back. And so they make sure that they do things to try to keep you from coming back. And I absolutely love that about Thailand. So that was definitely shocking.
That is a complete and from where we come from, man, you're looked at like a money dollar sign walking through that door. They want to keep you walking through that door every week. So that's amazing that where you're at, they're looking to heal. That's what it's supposed to be, right? Heal you and get you straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's cool. That's cool. So, all right, the food thing. I gotta ask, do you have a hidden gem for us? Like, do you got a restaurant, like a spot that isn't like touristy, like I don't want to go to a McDonald's. Do you got a hidden gem, like a spot that we could go to?
Yeah. Definitely don't know the name, but I can describe the location. So it's in Nam Jam Tien. Uh, it's in Nam Jam Tien, and it's very close to the beach. Like, if anybody was to ever move to Thailand and they wanted to live at Seven Seas or Riviera Monaco, it sits like right on the corner. It's two. When I know one name, Mama's Kitchen. I know that one, but the other one, it's in Thai. When they said it, yeah, I don't know. But that place, those two places are so good. It's like home cooked Thai food or something. Um, and then you have all these vendors and stuff that are on the street that have like these omelets and chicken wraps that are so good. But we like would go there like every day, like to get the chicken fried rice and the chicken wings, pad thai, the kapow stuff I was telling
Yeah,
you
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Um, they had a little bit. I've had the glass noodles and vegetables. Mushrooms are a big thing here. Like all kind of, I've seen mushrooms I've never seen in my life here.
Okay.
And they put it in the food and stuff. And so those, like I would say, the hidden gems are really the places that would make you question them. Like if you look at it and
Great
go,
advice.
mm, yeah. If it go, I don't know. Do it. Go, go, go. Because it's gonna be some good stuff. So yeah, yeah.
Okay. So do you still do touristy shit? Do you still get out there and see the country and go do stuff? Do you still see some cool stuff?
Yeah, so like when I first got here, I did everything.
Right.
So I went to like the Sanctuary of Truth, which is like a it's like this, they constantly build on it. Um it's sculpted or whatever, like they actually sculpt the pieces that they're building onto the building or whatever, and they're constantly adding to it, and it's a spiritual place or whatever. And you can get like a tour through there. They also have other activities where you ride the elephant, do the coconut boat ride, all of that kind of stuff. So it's really something that people should see, and they should hear about it, because it goes into that thing I was speaking about being a good person and stuff, and it really goes into explaining how that works. And so, and it has a different type of feel. Can't really explain it. It's a lot of places I've been in Thailand that kind of makes you just feel real good. So I did Sanctuary of Truth. I did the tiger park. So I went and played with the tigers, and went on a little safari. Don't have to do that again, but it was an experience. Um, what else have I done? I've done a lot of stuff. They have one of the biggest illusion museums here, where things don't look like they actually are, and it's
Yeah.
real interactive or whatever. It's super cool. And that's in Pattaya. Um they also have I've done some water activities, of course, and um, what else? I've traveled all around Thailand. So I've been to a lot of the cool temples that people really want to see, like the White Temple and the Blue Temple. I've lived in Hua Hin, and I traveled to Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai. I've been to Phuket. Like, I've been to James Bond Island or whatever where they shot the movie. And so I did all of that kind of stuff. And they have a movie theater here that has beds in it. It's real luxury
Ooh.
like, and you go, and the popcorn is ridiculously good. That, like, I don't know what kind of cheese that is, but it's so different. And you go in, they have like a lounge, they have a bar or whatnot, and a all you can eat like hors d'oeuvres. And then when you go into the theater, there's like this bed set up. It has a fridge beside it with free snacks and drinks and beer. And it's so cool.
That
So
is
I've
cool.
done that.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
And I actually went to sleep. I missed the movie. It was Twister. I couldn't tell you anything about it, but it was a really good time. Like, because in my mind I was like, now why would they put these beds in this movie theater? Like, but it was so nice. Like, I really had a good time.
um
I've been,
okay.
of course, to I've been, of course, to a lot of the markets. They have a really famous street in Pattaya called Walking Street. And it's kind of like your Bill Street, your Broadway, your Bourbon Street. It gives those vibes or whatever, because it's like a bunch of clubs and bars and different things. That you can also day island hop or whatever. And so I've been to Koh Lorn, which is like 6 islands in one, and I stayed in like this camping tent thing. It's like glamping or whatever, but it's on top of this rooftop where you can see out on the ocean and stuff. Um, so I've been to Koh Lauren several times. And the water is much blue, like much more blue there, and the sand is white and stuff like that. So I've did a lot of island hopping and stuff. Haven't quite done a yacht party yet, but they have a million of those here. And I've done it's called Loy Krathong. Loy Krathong, which is it's a holiday here where you basically make these flower candle things that you put out on the water, but you take like a piece of hair, eyelash, something of yours, and you put it on there. You light the candles, you light the incense, and you set good intentions, and you give it to the water angels,
Okay.
is what they call it. So it has like this big peaceful thing around it. Yeah. And then they have like I went to their international kite day, where they had like kites that were like crazy big, like probably bigger than the ones in like the New York parade or something. Like they were huge, but they were from all different countries, lined up along the beach, and they sold food, and it was like a whole big festival type of deal. Um, they had Rolling Loud here, but I didn't quite make it. It was way too crowded. I didn't
Okay.
make that one. But it was a vibe. I seen a lot of things online, a lot of YouTubers did it, That was really cool for the city. I've been to like all kind of restaurants. Bubble in the Forest Cafe, which is a lot of their restaurants are outside. They have indoor parts too, but a lot of, especially those mom and pop type of places, those hidden gems, you're sitting outside. Like it's not an inside situation. Um, and I've, done lots of restaurants and things, some Americanized, some that is only in Thailand or whatever. They're really big on aesthetics here. So they like to make things come to life or look really cool.
That's
So
awesome.
I've been in like a lot of restaurants that look like you're in a forest or something. Waterfalls, just all kind of cool stuff. Um, what else have I done? I've done so much.
That's awesome, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
And I ride
good.
the motorbike a lot. So they have motorbikes, like that's their main transportation here. Like everybody just about has a motorbike. And their bolts, which is like Uber or Lyft, their bolt, you order a bolt, you can order a car or you can order a motorbike. And I love the motorbike, so I ride on it a lot. That's actually I only get in a car if I go to coming back from the grocery store, or even if it's raining, I get on the motorbike. Like it's not, rain doesn't really stop anything here,
Okay.
because they have like a whole rain season. So they still have to go and maneuver. So you can still order it. They're still gonna come. Just put your raincoat on or whatever you got to do, and go on about your business. So, I haven't went cycling in the mountains because they have where you can rent a motorbike for literally $6 for the day, and you can drive it around the mountain. I haven't done that yet, but that is an activity that I want to do.
That's dope. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Wow. All right. I got a question for you. It sounds
Uh
like
huh.
all of this has been dope, right?
Yeah.
What's been the hardest thing for you?
Hmm. So I'll say the hardest thing is, and this is gonna sound really crazy, but the hardest thing is the bugs here.
Yo, that's awesome.
It's the bugs. And people are like, because even people online, just as Americans, we want to know what is the negative stuff, right? Like, and if it's nothing, if you can't think of it, saying like, yeah, right, like it's got to be this, it's got to be that. But no, it's not. I will say, Thailand is ever changing in their laws and policies. That can be annoying. And then it's like, and they don't care because they'll change it. And then if it's something that could affect you and you get in trouble for it, it's like, well, you should have known. But wait, you just changed it yesterday evening. I didn't know. Like, so that is like, that's a thing. The visa thing is becoming um like crazy, but it's like they're forever trying to organize. Like Thailand is a place that it just seems like it's always trying to organize something, and that can just be annoying because of course in America we have laws, we have policies, we got a constitution, it's in place, it is what it is. Although they don't follow it half the time either, but you know in Thailand, though, it's like it really is like they do what they want to do. Like it's just, if we say this, we're gonna change it today, and then they might change it on Monday, and literally the next Monday it'll be right back the same or something. Like their marijuana laws. Like, oh my God, like can we just get on one accord? Um, it's it's like it's ever changing or whatever, but they've kind of slowed down on it a little bit with that, and they really are trying to get the tourist visa situation under control, because the thing is, like foreigners, some come here and they take advantage of what is being offered, or they're not being completely honest.
Okay.
And that makes them switch up things even on the people that are abiding by the laws and the rules and stuff. So it's just like sometimes it can seem unfair. But if you just get a regular, some type of regular visa, you're pretty much okay. You're
Are you
okay.
going through the
If
visa process?
I have a visa. I have an educational visa.
Okay.
And those last a year or whatever, and they expect you to learn Thai or whatever. That's the whole point. So it's not multi-entry. If you leave, you literally have to get some type of permission. They're not gonna tell you no, you can't leave. But it can be like a S show trying to get back in here through the main airport and stuff. And then especially with all the visa stuff that's going on. But Thailand is still a really cool place to come and you know, if you come and you abide by the rules and just not try to tweezle into anything or do anything the easy way or whatever, then you'll be fine. It's just some people, and they've kind of changed up because of the Cambodian thing. Like the border runs have gotten really strict. Like that's not a thing. If you plan on coming to Thailand, do not plan to come and border run the whole time because that's not a thing anymore. Like you can do it twice in one calendar year. That's it. And then they expect you to get some type of visa. So, in the educational visa, it doesn't cost that much. And you still get to learn. They have Muay Thai visas, they have Thai cooking visa under education or whatever. So, you can literally get this visa and take different arts in their culture or learn different things and still be able to be here and enjoy yourself.
Okay.
So I just tell people if you're coming to live in Thailand, have a real purpose because they want you to be able to contribute to their economy. They don't want people just living here all willy nilly. So, and you have a
That
bunch of retirees here. This is
that's
a
a
nice
that you
place.
just dropped. That's a gem. Thank you for that. That was some information. Cool. About the
Yeah.
visa thing. Yeah, cool, cool.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, do you work? Because initially we're gonna go back a little bit. Initially, you were telling me like, oh, I got this teacher thing, and I'm gonna do this and that. But do you work? I know that your boyfriend he asked you to stop working because he wanted to travel. What do you do?
So yeah, so no, I just kind of do the whole online thing or
Okay.
whatever. Um, but I will tell people that if you do move to Thailand, keep your American income. I will say that jobs are for Thai people here, especially in the beauty industry. So you can't come thinking you're going to be a barber or do hair or whatever, nails, whatever. Like that's not a thing. That's for them. And if you do see someone outside of them doing it, it's either illegal or they may have Thai partnership.
Okay.
Um, but I just, because foreigners have like they are in the real estate here. Now that is one industry that you can get into is real estate. Some in the medical industry if it's needed. If it's needed, then you can work in the medical industry. I will say some hospitality, like I've seen some administrative assistant positions, but those things are far and few. Like that's not anything to depend on. If you don't lock it in before you leave America, then you definitely need to make sure that your income is in order
Okay.
because it's not an option. Now, teaching can be an easy thing, like job to get here. You can, teach if you have a degree of any type or whatever, then you have the option to be a teacher. And being a teacher abroad, I have some friends that actually teach in schools and stuff, and they like it. Really depends on what area you're in, the grade you're working with, and how the school runs.
Okay.
But it's definitely an experience, and it's really cool just to say, I taught abroad or whatever.
Okay.
So,
So what's your
um,
typical day look
there
like?
are positions
Sorry.
there.
So what does your typical day
No,
look
you're
like? What do you
good.
do? Wake up and you hit it. What do you do? Give me a day.
Okay, so like I'll just really wake up and say, well, what do I want to do today? Um, I just I
That's
just
a
get right.
flex.
So I
That's a
just,
flex.
yeah. So I just kind of wake up with, what do I want to do today? And if there is something, of course, TikTok is a good resource for finding things that are around you, right? And so I managed to find lots of things on there. And just on a regular day, if I'm not, exploring something, big or a sight to see or whatever, then I'll just kind of wake up. I'll start my morning with a workout or whatnot. Like I like to have my slow morning. So I'll start with my workout. And then after that, if it's something else I need to do, like go to the store or something, then I'll do that. If not, then I'll chill in the house. I may do some work, I'll journal or whatever. Just kind of, rest and relax if I'm not getting out to do something. Um, on the weekends and things like that. It really does. Weekends don't exist in a life like this.
Okay.
You can literally live your life all week long. Sometimes you even forget the day, or the date, or the time. Sometimes, like you're just kind of riding the wave. And so
Riding the
that's
wave.
so I kind of, a Saturday, a Tuesday and a Saturday can feel exactly the same when you have this type of flow to your life. So on a regular day, that's just it. Like I pick and choose what it is that I may want to do. I may go get in the pool. A lot of these condos and stuff have rooftop pools and stuff. Um, a lot of them come with saunas. I'm really big on my health, and so I definitely don't mind spending hours like doing that kind of stuff. And then you can get a massage for $6. So you can always go get a Thai massage or foot massage or whatever. They have a lot of that here because again, they believe like your health is your wealth. So like a lot of that stuff is super affordable.
Okay.
Like facials, just all kind of things like that. So I really enjoy being in nature too. So some days, if I can't think of anything to do, I'll just go to a park. I may walk, just sit there, take in the vibes, watch out for the bugs, because the mosquitoes are rampant here. So
I bet.
that's, yeah, that was one of the things that was probably really the only thing that I really had a issue with at first. Like my skin had to really adjust to that because a Thai lady told me it's my blood type that they like. Because they don't really get bit like that. And I'm just like, why aren't y'all getting bit? And we're in the same room with the same mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And bugs are not like it doesn't freak them out. Like I'm sitting in the nail shop, there's this giant spider literally crawling on the ceiling. I'm like, hey, it's the spider, like gonna get that. And they're like, ah ha ha, they laugh. They're like, oh, spiders want to get nails done too, and I'm just like, what? What? Oh God. I was like,
That's
I hope that
great.
doesn't follow me. So, and they're like laughing at me, and I'm just like, this is not funny. Like, I'm freaking out. So,
That's
they're really chill.
hilarious.
Yeah, they're really chilled here with a lot of the nature. Oh, another thing that was pretty culture shocking was the dogs. So there are dogs everywhere. It's almost like someone dropped off a truckload of dogs, like a massive truckload of dogs. They're everywhere. But they're different. They're different kind of dogs. I don't know. I call them spiritual dogs because like they like they're so like if you they don't really bark at people. But if it's like certain people that, I'm a good energy reader. Different story for a different day.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I feel the same things that they feel. And when like, for example, it was really crazy. I was on a walk and it was this guy that was walking. And I was just, he just wasn't giving me the best vibe or whatever, which Thailand is a super safe place, but it was just something about him. I just don't know. But, I'm minding my business or whatever. And then this like herd of dogs come out of nowhere and they're like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah," like they're just barking at him. And that's not normal. And I noticed that when someone doesn't give off the best vibe, or maybe they have a bad spirit on them, I don't know. But it's like they call it out. It's not like they're going to bite you or attack you, but it's just like it stirs them up or something. And they're like homeless dogs, of course. They don't belong to anybody. And you have different people around that will feed them. Now, in Bangkok, in the city, I've probably seen maybe three since I've been here in a month. But in Pattaya, they're everywhere. Chiang Mai, they were everywhere, like in the more locally type of parts or whatever. And so I'm just like, where did all of these dogs? There is a story behind it that, of course, I don't remember, but That was really culture shocking because at first I was scared because I was like, oh God, there are dogs everywhere. But they're sweet, like they're really nice dogs or whatever. And if anything, they just want to see what you got going on, but they leave you alone unless you're not a good person.
That's
So
awesome. That's really cool. We have the dogs. I live in Nicaragua. We have the dog thing too, everywhere.
okay.
Yeah, no, I got you. I feel you. I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So if you can go back in time, right, and teach yourself, tell yourself something from now to when you first embarked on this journey, what would it be?
It would be to go sooner, to
Ah,
not let anything hold me back. Even with my grandparents, I could have definitely visit, like in my mind, it was like if I left, it was forever when I was younger. I don't know why. Like I just felt like it would be forever and it's too far, but I would just tell myself to do it. Like just to take that chance, to take that risk, be adventurous. I don't like to say life is too short because it's definitely what you make it. But at the same time, it's no point in it's like this is a really big world that we live in, and it's a lot to see and it's a lot to do. And I would just tell myself to take the risk. I would take the risk around America. Like I've been all kind of places in America. So it's like that same feel for there, I would tell myself to take it for the rest of the world so that I could see it. And I could always come back and visit my grandparents and I could still talk to them, and of course, they came out with FaceTime. So that's how I talk to the people in America now. There were options there. I would just tell myself to do it if I could.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's really good. That's really good. Thank you. Um, so give me a plug. Give me a plug. Do you want me to put out how can people get in touch with you? Or how can people follow you? Or do you have a business you want to throw out there? Give me something that we could promote for you. And what we'll do is at the end, I will put all that information in the comments section so people can follow you or but give me a plug. What do you want to push?
Okay, well, I am Harmony Goes Global on all platforms. Facebook, I'm Harmony Moon, and on Instagram, you have to put the little dashes. But I think actually you could like it's Harmony dash goes dash global, But I think you can actually just type in Harmony Goes Global, and I'll pop right up.
Okay.
But that is my name on all platforms. I do share my experience, about Thailand. I also like to sing, act, and dance, so I'm very entertaining. I'm super cool. So if you have any questions about anything, I would do lives on my TikTok, and people would join my lives, and I would tell them some of the burning questions people may have, but you could also ask me questions, and if I don't get to it in the live, then you can leave me a message or I read the comments. And so I'll definitely get back to you because I've definitely been there in wanting to know exactly what to do and how to do it. And so I definitely don't mind helping. I know some realtors here. I know some drivers. Like I know I have some different connections that people can use if that's what they need, whether they want to visit or they want to move abroad. I'm here to help.
Dude, and you are very informative. You had so many gems that you dropped on me today. If anybody has some questions, you're the person I'm going to send them to. I'll tell you that. That was awesome. It was a good one. Um, okay,
Nice.
so young woman's at home. She's in America and she's watching this show, right? And she sees you and she's inspired and she's like, damn, I want to live your life, right? And she hits you up. What advice do you give her?
Hmm. Well, um, I used to be like a coach, like a mind coach, a nutrition coach. So I like to coach people too, versus just giving them information. So if she was to hit me up, I would first explain to her that moving abroad takes a certain type of mindset. So are you ready? Because it's nothing like anything you've ever experienced in America. And the questions I would have, would basically be like, are you set up for your financial success? That is number one. You do not want to move abroad without having your income in order. Granted, my thing was a little different, but I'm okay. So I would just, I'm okay. So I would just, make sure of that first. And definitely want to make sure of just see what type of research have they already done that that they've seen, like what is making them want to move to Thailand specifically, you know. And then of course I would let them ask me any questions that they may have or whatever to give them as much information as possible. Um, and although people feel like the weather and, um, different people are small things, those are actually big things because that can affect your daily life, in dealing with that kind of stuff. So I definitely want to, Bangkok is one of the most polluted cities in the world. So if you have real bad allergies and different things like that, that's not a city you want to move to. Chiang Mai either. So I would just, ask some health questions or whatever, see what is a good fit for the person that's contacting me as far as what area of Thailand to move to. And then once we get the mindset in order, the health in order, the actual city they want to move to, then I want to see what type of lifestyle are they trying to live, because believe it or not, a lot of influencers online, I'm not going to say that they're lying, because Thailand is really affordable, but there are some gray areas. And so I just want to make sure that they would be okay with some of the living styles that they have here. Because in some of the more grand condos, yeah, they're really nice. They have all the amenities. It looks like you're living on a resort every day. But at the same time, the square meters in the place may just be about 29 or 34 square meters. And that's pretty small.
Mm.
Um, but if it's just you, like I would want to see, is it just, her? Does she have children? Because when it comes to children, if your child is 15 or older, they're going to need a visa. Under 15, they're free to live here, just fine, So
That's
if
awesome.
yeah, so if she's moving and she has a 9-year old, not much she has to worry about with her kid. Now, international school, you're going to have to pay for that. So is that something that you can cover for your kid? Or are you going to have the time to homeschool them? Like, do you have a remote gig, or are you looking into working at a school? And I haven't heard of them giving teachers discounts for having children in school like they do in America sometimes,
Mhm.
depending on like the daycare where you're working. So I would just ask those probing questions, because those things people are blinded to, because I don't want you to think that they have like a public school that your kid can go to and they're going to learn everything's going to be in Thai. And then they're not going to learn. So they would have to go to an international school and you're going to have to pay for it. So I would ask those type of things. And of course, if they are a solo traveler, then that's something we don't have to worry about. But we do need to figure out your lifestyle so that your income and your lifestyle match. And I like to tell people you can definitely live in Thailand for 2,500 US dollars a month, but it just depends on who you are as a person.
Sure.
But you can definitely do that. It's not like in America when you fly from Nashville to Vegas for like $500 or more, for a round trip ticket. It's not like that. I literally flew to Phuket from Pattaya. My round trip ticket was $40. To go to Bali, it was only like, I haven't been to Bali yet, but I looked up the tickets because I plan on going next year. From where I am to Bali, it was only like maybe 300 and something for a round trip ticket. And that's to a whole nother country. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
awesome.
So you can, yeah, you can definitely, have a good life here. Like as far as traveling, you may have your work, leisure, you have time. It really is peaceful here. I can't make that up. It really is a different type of peace of mind. And so I would just make sure the person is ready for that, because although it sounds good, everybody can't handle it. When I first got here, I was still in the hustle and bustle mode. So I couldn't relax for a while. Like I felt like I had to do something. Like I felt guilty for just sitting and watching TV or just, doing stuff that I didn't normally do in America, because my days would run to like 8 o'clock at night. And then it's time for me to eat something and go to bed and start all over again. So this was a different type of flow. So I just would want to make sure that everything is in order before moving out of the country. And it starts with your mind first.
That's awesome. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, all
Um,
right.
um, So Harmony, thank you so much for giving me your time. You've dropped some bombs on this, man. Some great information. You're an absolute inspiration. Thank you so much for everything. Positive vibes your way, and thank you for sharing with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, and I'm so glad to share.
That's awesome. I'll put your stuff in the comments section so people can get in touch with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, Harmony, that was amazing. Thank you. I send you nothing but positive vibes. You are an absolute inspiration. Thank you so much for your insight. For my guests viewing from home, if there are any questions you want me to ask some of my future guests, just put it in the comments section and I'll get to it. And if there are any countries that you're interested, you want me to talk to an expat from that country, let me know. Put it in there and I'll try to reach out. Enjoy.